In this lesson, I'm going to discuss the role of the pinky. That is the pinky in the right hand, also known as the bow hand or the bow arm. So, the pinky's role is primarily one of balance. Look what happens when my pinky lets go. Boop. The bow falls. So the pinky is, I would say, the most important finger for keeping that bow horizontal when I'm holding it up in the air. Now, for those of you who haven't yet figured out how to hold the bow, please see my video called How to Hold the Bow. In the meantime, I'd like to take this a step further and talk to you about the very important stage of going from nothing to something. So let me tell you what that means. When you're playing, and you're about to play any note on the violin, going from silence to a note is not the easiest thing. Many people start out and they go like that, or they hit the bow or the violin by accident, or some very cautious people will put the bow on the string, and then that happens. So we need to figure out, where do we find the happy medium? How do we do that? So let's talk very quickly about a little bit of theory first. The most, or the heaviest part of the bow is the frog. And as a result, the frog is constantly pushing up on your pinky if your pinky is curved. And that's a good thing. That is what allows you to have that balance. If the pinky can very gently serve as a shock absorber for that heavy frog, then you're able to smooth things out when you start playing. And I'm going to show you how that works. First, I'd like you to just take your bow. I'm going to be your mirror image. I'm going to use my left hand, but of course please use your right hand. So that way you can kind of look directly at me and we can have the bows facing the same direction. So hold your bow as you normally would after having reviewed my lesson on how to hold the bow. Then what I'd like you to do, hold it horizontally and make sure that pinky is curved, make sure that thumb is curved, and now try not to squeeze. Make your hand as loose as possible. And while you're holding, look for that bounciness. Have that springiness. So basically when you hold the bow, I'd like you to also try this. And see how that bow is just pushing up against your pinky, which would be curved all the time. Now, some of you might have a problem with this, and your pinkies might be kind of straight, or this part might be a little bit straight as well. And we're going to talk about pinky strengthening exercises in another lesson. So bear with me in the meantime, and just hang in there, because that's for another topic. But anyway, the basic idea is you want to have that springiness in your bow, you know, up and down like that. And then we're going to talk about how do we actually start playing so that we have a smooth connection going from nothing to something. Now let's watch. Sorry, I can't be your mirror image anymore in this case. So, let's go from above the string, holding the bow up like this, violin under your jaw, or on your collarbone, and let the bow just kind of spring up and down like that. Feel it against your pinky, and then what we're going to do is we're going to go spring, spring, and circle and play. Again, spring, spring. So spring, the circle is counterclockwise, and we count it for landing. Spring, spring, circle. Spring, spring, big circle. And last time, spring, spring, big circle. So that's how we play full bows, and that kind of takes some time. You know, there's a little bit more to this, and I can't explain it all in this one lesson, because most likely when you're playing, as you get to the tip of the bow, you're losing your sound. And we're going to have to talk about that in a future lesson, particularly lessons about playing at the tip of the bow, and that's going to come later. But in the meantime, I'd like you to just get that feeling of how to have that springiness before you begin. Now the next part of this exercise will be playing on the other strings. Let's try on the E string. Spring, spring, circle. Let's go back to the A string. Spring, spring, circle. Let's play on the D string. Spring, spring, circle. G string. Spring, spring, circle. And as I said, don't be discouraged at the moment if your bow is just not doing the right things once you get past that middle. I'm just glad if you can get that springiness and land smoothly. That is our goal right now. So this has been the discussion about the pinky's role in balancing and stabilizing the bow.